ए चोर चोर मेरा पानी लेकर भागी, चोर चोर पकड़ो। चप्पल टूट गया है। पत्थर बहुत गर्म है तो मैडम भाग रही है। ये वीडियो देख के इधर के लोकल गाइड्स तो लॉस में चले जाएंगे ना। हाँ यार, इतना इंफॉर्मेशन दे दिया, गाइड की क्या जरूरत है यार। पहले यूट्यूब लगाओ, नागेंद्र नायक नरेटिव्स चलाओ, ये वीडियो पूरा देख लो, इधर आ जाओ।
नागेंद्र नायका
नरेटिव्स। Hey guys, welcome back to Nagendra Nayak Narratives. आज as promised yesterday, we are here at Chitradurga Fort. देखो यहाँ अंदर आने से पहले let me inform you first of all, सिर्फ ऑनलाइन टिकटिंग होता है यहाँ पे। और यहाँ पे एक बैनर लगाया हुआ है जहाँ पे QR कोड रेडी है, बट हमारा लक था कि इट्स अ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज डे टुडे, तो एंट्री फ्री है। तो गुड थिंग, लेट्स गो इनसाइड एंड व्हाइल ऑन आवर वे आई टेल यू अ लॉट अबाउट द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द प्लेस, जो वागीशा ने रिसर्च करके मुझे बताया और मैं अभी तुम लोगों को चेपने वाला हूँ। चलो। A fort that stands tall from the 12th to 13th century. Took around 200 years to complete the construction, as it was constructed in stages. This premise was ruled by different kingdoms, Hoysalas, Chalukyas, Nayakas of Chitradurga. Welcome back to Nagendra Nayaka Narratives, okay? So yeah, but the change of hands between the rulers happened so quick that the entire kingdom became very volatile, and it had to fall down than go for a longer time. So this is where it stands, and the most famous ruler of this kingdom was Maddu Nayaka. And the stories that you always associate with Chitradurga is about Vanake Obavva. So this incident also happened during the reign of Maddu Nayaka, and we will go towards the Obavvana Kindi and see that space and try to reimagine that story. I may not be able to enter through the Obavvana Kindi, but let's see how it goes. So let's start. As you can see the chisel marks over here on the entire stone. Now this is how the larger rocks were cut. So they used to have these chisel marks around 1 inch depth, and they used to put some water in it and then hit them with the wooden logs. So what used to happen was the logs used to expand as the water gets accumulated in it, and due to which the entire rock used to have the cracks. And this is how the rock was cut. You can see the hit marks, chisel marks on the stone here completely. So this is how the rocks were cut. While you go to other temples also, you will see these kind of marks, because this is exactly how the rocks were cut. And you see the grinding stone structure here. So this is called the Maddu beesuva kallu. So the medicines were made here using the grinders that are placed on the four sides. Okay, so This and the Banashankari temple happens to be on the same lane, which is on the foot of the hill. And now we proceed up. So we can take a turn here and see how deep it was and where the accumulation used to happen after the grinding. So this is the kola, like the place where the oil was stored. So either to light the lamps, and there's a temple around that we already seen. So this was to store the oil, and this is a small cave where one side is constructed by the fort walls.
नहीं हो पाएगा क्या?
तू जाके वीडियो लेके आ, बाद में घर जाके ना मैं बैकग्राउंड वॉइस दूंगा. We welcome you to the world of 11th and 12th century. इसके बाद जो मिलेगा, प्रॉपर फोर्ट के अंदर पहुंच चुके हैं हम लोग. So you can actually feel that, you know, how a life inside the fort looks like. You can see a panoramic view of the entire fort from here. मशाल या दिए रखे जाते थे टू, क्या बोलते हैं, टू ब्राइटन द फोर्ट वॉल्स, और रास्ता दिखने के लिए. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी तो था नहीं. और आज यहाँ पे इधर बात रखते हैं. मे बी बिकॉज शेड है यहाँ पे, तो चिड़िया विड़िया आके आराम से उनका लंच डिनर ब्रेकफास्ट सब करके जा सकते हैं. शेर को मार रहे हैं और दो हाथी लड़ रहे हैं, और यहाँ पे एक ईटी फेंक रहा है हाथी पे, और मैं फेंक रहा हूँ. फोर्ट इज मेड इन लेयर्स. और देखो हर लेयर पे ऐसा एक प्लेटफॉर्म होता है जहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी तैनात रहता है. ठीक है. सो इवन इफ यू ब्रीच वन लेयर ऑफ द सिक्योरिटी, द नेक्स्ट लेयर अगेन हैज अनदर सिक्योरिटी. सो ये आजकल की सिक्योरिटी. देखो बस एक ये चीज़ है जो ऊपर आने के बाद डिसअपॉइंट करता है, क्योंकि प्यास तो वैसे भी लगी होती है, ऊपर से ड्रिंकिंग वाटर है देखने के बाद ना इतना मन मचल जाता है कि मतलब हाँ अभी पीते हैं. और इधर आने के बाद जब नहीं मिलता ना, वाट लग जाती है यार. ये बादशाह कैंटीन.
हाँ पानी पीते हैं. ओ तभी दैट गाय वाज सेइंग, बच्चा वाज सेइंग नींबू मसाला.
चलो ठीक है, इधर देखो, मेरे को दिखाओ बादशाह, मेरे को दिखाओ, क्योंकि अभी मेरे में जान आई है. हाँ इधर कैंटीन है. ठीक है. तो द डिसअपॉइंटमेंट विद द ड्रिंकिंग वाटर यूनिट इज ओवर अंटिल आई रीच देयर. ओनली इफ आई रियलाइज कि यहाँ पे कुछ है, नहीं तो डिसअपॉइंटमेंट कंटिन्यूस. चलो चलते. So the canteen did not disappoint us. Look what we found. Buttermilk. कौन से कंपनी का है देख लो. नहीं ये नंदिनी नहीं है, ये नंदन कंपनी का है. बट जो भी है बटर मिल्क है, पी लो खुश रहो.
कैसा है?
ओहो, ये नंदन के घर में बनाया हुआ है. घर का छाछ, मस्त मसाला छाछ. इस टाइम में स्पेशली ना, नेक्स्ट लेवल. नेक्स्ट. All right, we are here at the Ekanatheshwari temple. This is said to be the goddess who protects the entire fortress, and there is the doors are closed right now, but the Ekanatheshwari is depicted with only the face, and then there is the Kali's क्या बोलते हैं यार उसको, मूर्ति, and शिव जी का मूर्ति, so भैरव. ठीक है. सो दीज आर द डेटीज विच आर अवेलेबल हियर. और यहाँ कहीं पे तो तालाब टाइप का बनाया हुआ है जो मुझे यहाँ पे दिख नहीं रहा है. ये मैं पढ़ के बता रहा हूँ तुम लोगों को. ठीक है. इनफैक्ट सुन के बता रहा हूँ. आगे शायद ज़ोर से पढ़ा और मैंने सुना. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा पॉन्ड जैसा बनाया हुआ है. सो दिस इज़ बिलीव्ड दैट ये शायद ओखली खेलते हैं ना हम लोग वो रंगीन पानी से, सो उसके लिए यूज़ किया जाता था करके. सो दैट्स अबाउट द टेम्पल एज टू हाउ मच आई नो बाई रीडिंग. अगले चलते हैं. चलो. Alright guys, while lots of the parts from the fort were having heavy on religious beliefs and practices and stuff, you saw a lot of temples around and stuff. So the fort did not only have temples around. So this was the spot where people used to come together for entertainment as well. So this is called the Gaali gopura. You know what Gaali means and gopura means. So this is probably the breeziest point here. And when people came together, they used to play some games. So the most popular games were one was Navakankarī. So this was a game played between two people, strategic game again. So 9 stones for each sides. Okay, and this is how the platform or the board looks. Board games which were etched on the stones. Okay, and the other one was Aduhuli. Adu in Kannada also means play, but here Adu means goat. Okay, goat and the tiger. So Aduhuli was another game that was played here. So, and trust me, it still remains one of the breeziest spots here. So it is amazing.
story time. By the way, I'm here at a temple called Hidimbeshwara temple. Remember the duo of Hidimba and Hidimbi from the times of Mahabharata? Exactly, this is exactly the place where the duo lived. While Hidimbi was a mild and a kind-hearted Rakshasi, Hidimba had caused total chaos and terror amongst the people here. And it is believed that when the Pandavas came on an exile, they passed through Chitradurga, and this is where Bhima got into a duel with Hidimba and apparently killed Hidimba. And this place, you see those large rocks formed here. This is believed to be used as weaponry when they fought between each other. Like they threw these huge rocks at each other as a part of the combat. And finally, he killed Hidimba and he married Hidimbi. And that is where a child was born who was Gatotkaj. Exactly. So that is the story. I call it history, some call it mythology. It doesn't matter. I don't really care what it is, because see, India, or let's use the word Bharatakhand, is a combination of a lot of Janapads which have their own culture, which have their own stories, which have their own belief systems, practices, whatnot, everything. And for a story to travel across Janapad and not lose its authenticity is something that you should really consider. And the entire continent speaking the same story, I don't think there is any problem to at least accept a few elements of the story to be true. Like a few hundred kilometers away from this place is a place called Hampi, which was also called Kishkinda Nagari. And this is where the Vanaras lived. There was a fight between Vali and Sugriva, and both the parties threw those huge stones at each other. Remember, it is told that the people from the past were like huge in size, and that is quite justified here, where they threw stones at each other, and the pile-ups of those stones are what are the mountains today. And there is a gate called Bhima's Gate in Hampi, where actually Lord Hanuman actually disguised himself as a old Vanar. He put his tail on Bhima's path and asked Bhima to take it off. He couldn't, and then he came in the true form and spoke about it. So these are all the stories, and from there the Pandavas moved down to Chitradurga. See, the sequence of events and the flow of these locations are also very beautifully stitched into each other. So I think this whole story leaves me excited about a parts of a tale that has been told for centuries or thousands of years has actually passed through the places that I am going. Your history books will never tell you all these things. They just want to narrate what they want you to understand. But go to these places, see these kind of relics and monuments. See how beautiful this looks. And at times when you relate something to what your grandmother was saying, you feel so nice about it.
This also has those Navakamkari carvings all over. So this was also a place where the social gatherings and entertainment used to happen. Alright, end of the day, koi kitna bhi bol le, what matters is money, right? So we are here at Paalegarara kacheri. So it's called the Mint or the Taksal. Okay, so there are passages and there are places which are like 3 by 3 meters in dimension, and I'm trying to look for something. I'm not going to tell you right now. When I find it, I'll let you know. Alright, this is exactly what I wanted to show you. Okay, this is a 3 meter by 3 meter enclosure, and this leads to another passage which is around 8 feet in depth. So this was the passage through which it led to a underground chamber where the coins and gold, jewelry and everything was stored. Today there's a lot of garbage that is stored here, but imagine a situation. बाहर से दिखाओ आयशा एक बार. So see, imagine a situation. This is like the soldier's courtyard. Okay, you enter from there. There's a small 3x3 enclosure here. This looks like a security guard's chamber. Okay, and this in turn leads to a underground chamber which carries the entire wealth of the fortress. So such a beautiful thing. I'm really excited. I can feel the wealth already. This is a good find. I like this. This is the main structure. और यहाँ पे आप लोगों को मिलेगा on the right hand side. You see a small thing. As I told you, it looks like a security chamber. But when you go inside there, that is the exact place where the entire wealth is stored. So imagine how क्या बोलते हैं इसको, मतलब camouflage बोलते हैं क्या? नहीं, क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Deceptive it is. How deceptive it is. The main structure looks this, but the entire wealth is stored there. That is beautiful. This seems to be the only structure where the base is made of stones, and the rest of the structure is made of
Clay.
Such a beautiful place. Must have looked very beautiful during its grand days. Oh, Marisha, पानी का बोतल इधर फेंकना होता है, देखो.
हट.
नहीं, उधर गिरा हुआ तो है.
कहाँ?
देखो सारे पानी के बोतल इधर ही फेंके हुए हैं.
अरे हाँ.
Sarcasm. ओ हेलो, तुम क्या फॉलो कर रही हो क्या मुझे?
नहीं, मैं वो लोग की सेना आई थी ना जैसे.
ये वीडियो देख के इधर के लोकल गाइड्स तो लॉस में चले जाएंगे ना.
हाँ.
यार इतना इंफॉर्मेशन दे दिया, गाइड की क्या ज़रूरत है यार. पहले यूट्यूब लगाओ, नागेंद्र नायक नरेटिव्स चलाओ, ये वीडियो पूरा देख लो, इधर आ जाओ.
नागेंद्र
नायका नरेटिव्स. और यहाँ आते ही सर पे धन करके पड़ता था. Alright guys, we are here at the most important spot of Chitradurga fort, which is the Obavvana Kindi. Okay, I'll show you the Obavvana Kindi a little later, but you can see an opening there. So probably that is what leads to the outside of the fort walls. So वहाँ से सेना अंदर आ रही थी, and there is a small opening which I will show you a little later. लोग वहाँ से घुसने की कोशिश अभी तक कर रहे हैं. ये इंसिडेंट हुआ था 1779 को, और लोग आज तक घुसने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Right. So this is that small opening which is covered by people right now. जहाँ से लोग बाहर आने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. So look at the people trying to come out. So this is where the actual क्या बोलते हैं, a legend happened here. ठीक है, legend नहीं, ये सच है, तो legend नहीं है, but a legend was born here. ठीक है. So वहाँ पे आपको जो दिख रहा है, that is the place where Obavvana used to go out to collect water. So, cut. Alright, it's story time again. So this spot, particularly the Obavvana Kindi, belongs or is named after one of the most celebrated warrior ladies of Karnataka or India altogether. So Vanake Obava. So when the Hyder Ali forces were trying to sneak through that small opening that I showed you, this lady who was the wife of one of the guards of the fort. So it was his time to have his lunch or dinner. I'm not exactly sure about the time of the day, but that is when he was having his food, and Obava went to fetch a tumbler of water for him. That is when she actually saw the army sneaking in through there. She did not want to disturb her husband, so she actually took out the musal or onake, which is basically that, and she stood at the gates, and she started killing one by one as they entered. The window is very small, so only the head used to come in first. While the head came in, she used to beat them up, she used to kill them and pile the dead bodies right next. And by the time her husband finished his food and he came out, he saw a huge pile of enemy dead bodies there, and that is when she informed him, saying the fort has been attacked by the Hyder Ali forces. Please inform the guards about this. This is when one of the enemies who was half dead actually stabbed her from the back, and that is how a hero died. So that is why after this incident, this place is named as Vanake Obavvana Kindi. So that's the story of the place. Alright guys, this was about the Chitradurga fort. It was a beautiful experience to be here. There were bits and pieces of the stories that we all have heard. But when you actually come and watch this for yourself, it's like a whole different world, and the way you will experience it, I'm sure history books में कहीं ना बीच में कहीं लिखा होगा कि मतलब एक ओनके ओबावा करके हुआ करती थी. That's all. Nothing beyond that is mentioned about it. But you come here, you see, it's not just about her. I mean, I'm not discounting her heroics. Definitely somebody to be respected. But then the fort, or the place where the fort is built itself, has like so many stories to speak about. And this is only one fort of the thousands of forts that we have in India. So imagine, ದೇಶ ಸುತ್ತಿ ನೋಡು, ಕೋಶ ಓದಿ ನೋಡು. ಕೋಶ ತುಂಬ ಓದಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ಅವರಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೇಶ ಸುತ್ತಿ ನಿಮ್ಮಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. And one thing, don't consider this as a passing by spot. Okay, because even we thought that we would cover this place in around 2 hours. What we have seen, I am sure, is not more than 50% of the place. There's a lot more to see, and everything is so beautiful, it's worth. So spend a day's time dedicated to the fort, and there are other places to visit as well, which due to lack of time I will not be able to cover, because we are heading back to Udupi right now. So that's all there is to this vlog, and thank you so much. I hope you like the story time videos as well. Do like, share and subscribe. Do spread the word. This is one very rich heritage of the state, so let people know about it without discounting it like the textbooks do. Thank you so much. ये फुर्ती जानबूझकर नहीं है, ये फुर्ती मजबूरी से है, लेकिन फुर्ती तो वैसे भी है. बाप रे, ऐसे आधे घंटे छोड़ दो तो उड़पी पहुंच जाएगी. चुप गई. ये है आम जिंदगी, ये है मेंटर्स जिंदगी. देखो आगिशा कितना स्लो चलेगी. देखो ये तपती गर्मी में ना, ये गर्म पत्थर भी उसके शरीर को कुछ नुकसान नहीं दिला सकता. देखो कितना आराम से चल रही है. देखो बाप रे, खेल खेल के, उछल कूद के, नाच वाच के चल रही है. देखो